Hello everyone, welcome to another episode brought to you by Simurity Academy. Today we're going to continue our series on Netcat. This is going to be the third and final episode in Netcat, and we're going to cover the concept of relaying or port forwarding. We're going to start by covering the concept of a relay, what a relay is and what port forwarding is, and the importance of relaying during penetration testing and what type of architecture you might face in order to have a relay. And then we're going to look at 4 types of relays which Netcat can perform and do for us, and these are the server to client relay, client to server relay, server to server relay, and the client to client relay. So what is a relay? Let us have a look at this network architecture. Computer 1 on our left side is our penetration testing computer. This is our system from which we are conducting our ethical hacking or our attack. And then computer 2 on the right side is our target system. This is the system we are considering of running shell access or accessing resources on or exploiting it. However, as you can see here, we have a firewall in the middle, and this firewall is blocking all connectivity between our system and the target system. So this firewall is blocking every port number on the incoming direction as well as on the outgoing direction. So our system cannot connect to the target system on any port number, and the target system cannot connect as well to our system on any port number. However, we are lucky enough to have a third system somewhere, and that system is accessible by both of our machines, of our machine and the target machine, and it has also connection. It can access our system as well as the target system. And if we have access to this system, we can utilize this machine to act as a man in the middle, or particularly as a relay. This system is going to relay the traffic back and forth between our machine and the target machine. It's going to port forward. We're going to connect to this machine, and this machine is going to connect to the target, and then all traffic is going to be relayed back and forth, and we will access the system, we will access the target as if we are having direct connection to it. This is the basic concept of a relay. If we look closely at this specific example, we will see that the target system is running a server on port 80, and that's a website. And we want to access that website. We want to access that resource. We want to access that server on port 80 from our machine. However, because of the firewall, we cannot access it directly. So what do we do in this situation? We set up a relay system over here, and then we connect to this system, and the system will connect to the website and fetch the website and the web pages for us, and then we will be able to view the website on our web browser as if we are accessing the computer, the target, directly. And the way to do this in Netcat is we will run Netcat on the first type of relay, and this type is called the server to client relay. Server to client relay, meaning the relay will act on one side as a server, listening on a specific port, and then we will connect to that port, to that Netcat server. On the other hand, the same system, we will have another instance of Netcat running as a client, and that client will connect to the target on the intended port. So this operation, this process of having a server Netcat and a client Netcat on the same machine will enable this machine to be a server to client relay. And the way to do this is the following. Now, this looks scary or complicated, but I'm going to simplify it for you. What we need to do in order to have 2 instances of Netcat running simultaneously is we need first to create something called a pipe. which is first in, first out data structure, or first in, first out file, a FIFO file. What does it mean? It means that when we write to it, whatever we write to it, we can read it in the same sequence it has been written from the other direction. So we write ABC, and then when we read from it, we read ABC in the same sequence. So we will create this pipe, and the way to create this pipe is using a special command on Linux called the make node command, the make node command. And the make node command can create different kinds of special files. We're not going to cover these files in here. However, one of these special files is the pipe file. So we will type make node in the beginning, make node, and then we will give a name to the pipe we are creating. This could be arbitrary name, whatever that is, my pipe, pipe 2, pipe file, whatever you like. And then you have to specify the type of the node we are interested in creating. And since we are interested in creating a pipe, a FIFO pipe, we specify this with the letter P, with the letter P. There are other letters that denote different special types. So we create this pipe, and once we create this pipe now, we're gonna run two instances of Netcat. Instance 1 over here and instance 2 over there. Okay? And the two instances are separated by a symbol which is called the pipe symbol. The pipe symbol. I want you to concentrate here. What's gonna happen exactly is the following. This whole line, we will have the first instance, as you can see, running on the listening mode as a server, while the second instance is running as a client, as you can see here, is running as a client. That's why we call it server to client, because it's server on the left to client here. Now this whole line is gonna look like, it's gonna be translated like this. This image, this diagram here will show how this whole line is working now, what this whole line actually does. So the first instance of Netcat, the server one, is here, right here, Netcat 1, and the second one, the client, is here, Netcat 2. Okay, so these two instances are running on the relay server. Now these two instances are connected back and forth, which means whatever Netcat wanna type is gonna send it to Netcat 1, and whatever Netcat 1 gonna type on the terminal will be forwarded back to the first instance. And the way this is achieved is like this. The pipe symbol is gonna take whatever Netcat 1 wants to write and then send it to Netcat 2. And the FIFO pipe is gonna take whatever Netcat 2 wanna type and send it back to Netcat 1. So once the connection is established, once the first system, which is the penetration testing system, connects to Netcat 1, the server, okay, when system 1 wants to send something, a command or whatever data want to send it over the TCP socket, Netcat 1 is gonna receive it. And we know that Netcat by default will print whatever it receives from the TCP socket on the terminal. However, because there is a pipe symbol over here, that output will not be printed on the terminal, rather is gonna be sent to Netcat 2. And once Netcat 2 receives this data, it's gonna pass it now, it's gonna connect to system 2 and pass it to system 2. And whenever now system 2 is sending data back, this data will travel over the network to Netcat 2. Netcat 2 is gonna receive it now, but instead of typing it on the terminal, it's gonna send it to the pipe, to the FIFO pipe. And then the FIFO pipe is gonna forward it to Netcat 1. So Netcat, the client over here, is gonna redirect the data to the pipe, as you can see here, and then simultaneously the pipe over there is going to give that input back to Netcat server, and then, which is Netcat 1, the server, and then Netcat 1 is gonna write it on the TCP socket to system 2. Let us see a demo. We have here two machines, the Metasploitable machine on our right side and the Kali machine on our left side. The Kali machine is gonna act as a relay for us, and the Metasploitable is gonna be our target. Metasploitable has a website running on port 80. It has a website running on port 80, which is accessible by a web browser. However, instead of accessing the Metasploitable directly, we want to access it using the relay on Kali Linux. So we need to run a relay on Kali Linux and then access the website using this relay. So let us check the IP address of Metasploitable system, and it is 101. The IP address is 101. So we're gonna set our Kali Linux here as a relay, as a server to client relay. So we're gonna create our pipe in the beginning, my pipe P, the FIFO pipe. We created it, and then we will run the relay. We will run Netcat. We will run two instances of Netcat. The first one is gonna be the server, because it's a server to client. So the first one is gonna be the server, and it's gonna read whatever in the pipe, and then pass any output to the second Netcat, which is gonna be a client now. And we're gonna connect to the Metasploitable 101 on port 80, and whatever it receives, send it to the pipe. So this means the first Netcat is gonna be a server listening on port 2222, and it's gonna be a server, while the second one is gonna connect to Metasploitable on port 80. Once we run this command, we should be able now from a third machine, our third machine over here, and instead of accessing the Metasploitable on port 101, we're gonna actually access the Kali machine, and the Kali machine had the IP of 102 on port 2222. And as you can see, indeed now, we are accessing the Metasploitable machine, but we are not accessing it directly. In fact, we are connecting now to the Kali Linux on port 2222, and then this Netcat is redirecting our traffic, or port forwarding our traffic to the Metasploitable on port 8. And as you can see, we are actually browsing the Metasploitable website now. That was a demo of running Netcat in server to client relay. Let us look at how we can do the same experiment now and combine it with the bind shell we have learned in the previous episode. So instead of now accessing a website on the target machine, we want to have a shell access on the target machine using Netcat, using the very concept of bind and reverse shell from the previous episode. So in this case, we will have Netcat running as a server on the target machine, triggering bin bash upon connection. And on the relay, we will have exactly the same configuration. The only thing we're going to change is the port number, which is the port number of the Netcat server on the target machine that is attached to the bin bash. and then we will connect from our machine using another Netcat instance connecting to the relay machine. Let us look at a demo. We have here 3 machines now. The first one is going to be our target, and that is Metasploitable. And the second one is going to be the Kali Linux, and that is going to be the relay system. And then we have here another Metasploitable instance, and that's going to be our penetration testing platform. Now, we are interested in having a shell access on the first Metasploitable. However, this shell access is going to be relayed through the Kali Linux. And the way to do this is, we're gonna start first by setting up Netcat as a server on the target machine. So we will set it as a server -L-P on port 5555, and then execute the bin bash. So now we have a server on port 5555 attached to the bin bash. All we need to do now is, on our relay system, we're gonna have exactly the same configuration as before, and the only thing we're gonna change is the port number. So we will have 2 instances again of Netcat. The first one is gonna listen on port 2222, which our system will connect to, and then the second instance is gonna connect to Metasploitable target system on port 5555, and then we should have a shell. So once we have this running, we can come to our system now. This is the penetration testing system, and we're gonna connect now to 192.168.0.102, which is the IP address of the Kali system over here, and we're gonna connect to port 2222. And supposedly we should have a shell access. Exactly, as you can see here, we have a shell access, and if I type ls, I can see the files. I can create now a new file. So touch, I would call it relay hacking file, and then ls, I can see the file being created. And if I close this connection here, and I come here and I type ls, I can find the file relay hacking has been created successfully. That was a demo of server to client relay, which is the first type of a relay. The second one is actually the opposite of the first one, and that is the client to server relay. The client to server relay is exactly like the server to client relay, except that the direction is the opposite direction. So instead of us connecting to the relay and the relay connecting to the target, we want to have the target connecting to the relay, and then the relay connecting to our machine. Yet at the same time, we want the target to execute the bin bash for us, and we should have a shell access from our system to the target system. And the way to do this now is, instead of starting with Netcat as a server, as in the previous type, we're gonna start with Netcat as a client in the beginning. So the first instance will connect to our machine on port 2222, and then the second instance will be a server listening on port 5555, receiving a connection from the client. We should have the pipe symbol in the middle as before, sending all output to the second Netcat, and we should have the pipe set up as before, so that anything the second one receives is gonna be sent back to the first instance, so that it gets sent to our machine. Let us look at a demo here. Again, we have 3 systems. We have Metasploitable target over here, and then we have Kali Linux, which is gonna be our relay system, and then we have another Metasploitable, which is the penetration testing machine. And because this is a client to server, we need to set up first on our machine netcat in a listening mode. So netcat minus L minus P 2222, and I hit enter, and then I come here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the client to server now. The client to server. Of course, I need to know the IP address of this machine, which is, I believe, 103. Yes, it's 103. So in here I should connect to the 103 machine, which is the penetration testing machine, read whatever in the pipe, and then forward everything to the second instance now, and the second netcat will be a server now on port 5555, and whatever it receives, it should send it to the pipe. Okay, we forgot a port number over here, so we need to specify 2222. And then finally, all we need to do over here is to initiate netcat in a client mode, connecting to the relay system on 102 on port 5555, and then of course execute the bin bash. So if I come back here to the penetration testing machine, supposedly I should have a shell access. Let's see. Yes, exactly, we have a shell access, pwd, exactly, ls. I can even see the relay hacking file, and now I can remove it. Exactly, it's been removed. So if I close it here, and then I close it here, and I come here, I do ls, I can see that the file indeed has been removed. That was a demo of the client to server relay. The third type of a relay is server to server relay, and this is a weird relay somehow. It's a weird relay, but it's a relay that works nonetheless. And the beautiful thing about this relay is the two instances of netcat are going to be in a server mode. So we will have two netcat running on the relay, both of them on the server mode, one listening on port 2222 while the second one is listening on port 5555. And then our machine, the penetration testing machine, is gonna connect to the relay system on port 2222, and the target machine is gonna connect to the relay as well on port 5555. And because of the piping over here, the back pipe and the forward pipe, we end up having a shell access from our machine all the way to the target machine. Let us say a demo on this one. We have the same architecture as before, Metasploitable target over here, and then next to it is the Kali Linux, which is the relay system, and then we have the Metasploitable penetration testing machine over here. Since this is a server to server, we need to set up both netcat on the relay system on the server mode. So netcat minus L minus P 2222, read anything from the pipe, and then forward pipe to the second netcat, which is also running as a server listening on port 5555, forward everything to the pipe. And now all I need to do is from here run netcat as a client. In fact, it's just like before. Connect to the pipe, connect to the relay system on port 5555 and execute bin bash. Similarly, I come to the penetration testing machine now, and all I need to do is to connect to 192.168.0.102, which is the relay, however, on port 2222. Supposedly I should have a shell access. Indeed, I am having a shell access, as you can see here. And then if I type ls, I can see the files. I can create a new file now. So I can type touch, I would say netcat relay, and then ls, I can see it being created, and then if I close it over here, and then I close it over here, and then here, I can see netcat relay being created successfully. The final type of relay that netcat can do is a client to client. A client to client, which means both of netcat instances over here are going to be client connecting to other servers, which means the following: our penetration testing system is going to be listening on a port, and then the first instance on the relay, the first netcat instance on the relay is going to connect to our server. Similarly, the target is also going to be running netcat as a server on port 5555, and then the second instance of netcat on the relay is going to connect to the target on that port, and then the target is going to execute bin bash. Again, as you can see here, netcat as a client connecting to the penetration testing machine on 2222, and then over here netcat connecting to the target on port 5555. So in this situation, we need to set up netcat server on our machine and then on the target machine, and then run netcat as a relay on the relay system. So we're gonna set up on the target machine now a server netcat -l -p port 5555, and then execute the bin bash. Similarly, we will have netcat running as a server on the penetration testing machine, and it's gonna listen on port 2222. Always remember that we execute the bin bash on the target machine. So since this is the penetration testing machine, I'm not gonna execute the bin bash. And then I will have here the client to client relay. So 192.168.1.0.103 on port 2222. Read anything from the pipe and then forward it to the other netcat, which is also acting as a client, and then connect to 101 on port 5555. Forward anything to my pipe, and supposedly two connections now have been established from the relay, one to the target machine and one to our machine, tunneling and relaying a shell. Let's see if we can get a shell. Uname -a. Exactly, we have a shell now, pwd, and then ls, and as you can see here the file netcat relay, which we have created previously, and then I can delete this file netcat relay. Yes, it's been deleted. So if I close it, and then I come here, I do ls, I can see that the netcat relay file has been deleted successfully. So we have covered so far the 4 types of relays which netcat can do successfully: the server to client, client to server, server to server, and the client to client. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful for you. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and leave the thumbs up, and see you in a future videos.